Alright, welcome back to another video. Well, it's a cold winter day, but it's time to start another project on my new to me 2010 Ridgeline. I'm going to be installing a aftermarket backup camera. As I used on my two Honda CR-Vs, I'm using the same camera for this vehicle. The reason being, it is a really good backup camera in a world of junk that you can buy. Sometimes it's hard to find a good product. So when I find a good product, I tend to try to use it in multiple applications. There will be links to everything I use in the description below the video, but this is the backup camera. There's multiple different ways to mount it. Like on my CR-Vs, if you watch my other videos, you saw I mounted it, above the license plate, screwed it into the body. In this case, I'm going to be using this bracket that it comes with right here, and I'll be mounting it above the license plate. And this bracket's meant to be screwed through one of the license plate screws like that. Well, in our case, I'm probably going to put it right in the middle and then just put a screw in. And that's a good spot. On the Ridgelines from the factory, if you got a add-on kit, they had this huge, ugly camera that would hang off the back of the Ridgeline. The later model ones, you can buy, or even for these, you can buy a new handle that has a camera integrated right here. I don't think it's going to be a problem just to mount it down here instead. So it'll also save a lot of potential issues. When you put it on the tailgate, you have to run the wires through the tailgate and then fish them through this connection over here. And the factory would have you take off all the panels, all the root, everything. There's so much to take off just to install a backup camera. What I'm going to be doing is running the wiring under the vehicle. And the reason it's a little bit more of a challenge in this vehicle is because there's no traditional frame. Normally would zip tie the wires to the frame. So in this case, we don't have a actual separate frame to do that. And where it becomes a problem is where the wires go up over the rear axle. You have to make sure you have them protected and away from any kind of moving parts so they don't get destroyed. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Then I'll run them up to the front and then come through a body plug somewhere to get inside the vehicle and up to the front. That way we don't have to remove anything at all. Just the tail light to get access to our backup light wiring. So this is where we'll get our power feed from, and we'll also send it to the front. There is a way to get it from the front. You could use a remote control or a remote video feed if you wanted. That might work for some people. I find those to be highly unreliable in a crappy picture. So I'm going to be sticking to wired in this case. Alright, so to get the tail light off so we can get to the wiring, it's just a couple of 10mm bolts. Then you pull. Okay. So here's the back. Obviously this is our backup light, the one that's in the middle. And then these are the wires. We'll use the power and the ground. So this is where we will interface our camera to give our camera power when we put it in reverse. And it'll also be where we get the trigger signal that we will need to send forward with the video line to the head unit. Alright, so here we are back here. We've got the camera assembled. Just to take off this back plate with the two screws and put this piece on. So what I meant is, you could either mount it here off to the side, just use one of your license plate screws to hold it on, or you can put it in the middle here. This is just plastic on the Ridgeline, and there's really nothing behind it. It's too close. So I'm just going to run a couple of screws through here hold this in place. The only thing you have to be aware of is it has to be high enough that your license plate has room to fit, but low enough so that you can open the tailgate without hitting. So right here I'm just about to hit, so I'll just put it down just to here. That way we know when our tailgate is down, through its whole range of motion, we don't want it to hit the camera. Slides down a little bit. Move it back where it needs to be. crazy with the drill. Just trying to snug it down. We open the door the other way. We're good. Kind of fits over top of the license plate like that. This should run all the way over here to where we need to make our connections, which is good because it'll keep all of this out of the weather. There's a couple of loops on here. You can cut one of them to mirror image if it's like the wrong way and you don't have the capability on your head unit. The other one is for the backup camera lines. By default they're on. If you'd rather use the lines on your head unit, you can cut that other wire. I'm just going to leave them both the way they are for now. You could run this just down, you know, through here to go over here. What I'm going to do is make this look a little better. I'm going to open the tailgate. I'm going to drill a small hole. That way the wire just disappears right into there, so it's protected the most. You know, if you're using your truck as a truck, you know, you don't want debris damaging the wiring. And then I'll seal it in there. All right, so drill the hole right there, and you have to just drill it big enough so that our cable fit inside. So I need to go just a hair bigger. All right, so I've got it fed down through the hole, and then I'm gonna just zip tie it under there, and anywhere that I have wiring running unprotected on the underside of the vehicle, I will have this kind of corrugated small tubing wrapped around it just to give it an extra layer of protection. All right, so underneath, I don't know if you can see the wire right here. I'm able to get it. I'll be able to get that tucked up in there to where it actually won't even be exposed underneath at all. It'll kind of just ride up inside of this channel here. You just got to kind of reach down in there. See, it's just long enough that I can get to it here inside of where the tail light is. The green, the black stripe is the positive, and the orange one is the negative, believe it or not. So what we'll do, they give you this little lead here. So this will connect into the camera, and this is our positive and negative power wire for the camera. So I'll cut this down, splice the negative wire into the orange one, the red wire goes to the green one. And we also need, this is the cable that will run to the front of the car. On both ends, you can see you have your video portion, and then you have this red lead. This is our trigger wire we're going to use for the head unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also splice this red wire into the green wire here also. And I'm actually going to put a little inline fuse holder and fuse this connection. Most people wouldn't do that, and the backup lights are fused themselves, but I'm going to put a much smaller fuse because all we're doing is powering this little camera and the trigger to the head unit, and that's to protect the head unit and the camera should there be a short somewhere someday. Alright, so here's where I'm at. I've got everything spliced in, and you can use whatever method you like, but personally I solder and tape all my connections, because you definitely want to use those like crimp fit type connections because those will not last. So I just put a little 3-amp fuse in here. Should be more than enough power to power the backup camera and this trigger wire. So then, I get power ground connected. This goes to the camera. Then I just make this connection here, this trigger wire, and then we'll start running this thing towards the front of the vehicle. All right, so got this all done here. I've got dielectric grease in this connection, just in case moisture ever tries to get in there. We're gonna feed this down, and then we'll be under the car. You can see I've got this corrugated loom around my wire here. And I just went about a little over halfway to start. I'm gonna climb under the car now and try to find a good place to route this up to the front. So I got the wire run, and what I did to get it over the wheel well area, which is the hardest part, is is I brought it up behind this plastic liner here in that corrugated tubing, and you can see I drilled a little hole and then zip tied. And I used really good zip ties. It wouldn't come out, I don't think, from behind the plastic on its own because there's like a lip under here. But just to make sure, I zip tied it in place. That way it can't ever, you know, drop down into the wheel well. Then it comes over here. There's another zip tie, and it runs up under this plastic and comes down under here, runs up through this channel in the frame, comes down, and then runs along this emergency brake rigid cable. And put one more zip tie here. I've got it zip tied every 6 inches or so. And then we come to this spot here. So there was already a hole here and a hole here. And I just had to enlarge this hole just a little bit. Alright, this is like going to be impossible for you to see, but basically that hole, I just took the drill from underneath and continued the hole straight through. And if you pull up the trim piece next to the seat here, it's just right between the seat and this rail here. I drilled that hole. And then since it's in here, that acts as our grommet. You want to make sure there's no metal filings. So I'll bring that up through here, and I will silicone this hole in the top here. I'm not going to do the one on the bottom because that's a drain hole in case water gets in there. That's why it was there in the first place. So we'll leave that open, but then this one up here I will silicone to make sure no water can work its way into the vehicle, even if it is just a small amount. And then once we're inside the car, it's really easy. We'll just run it up under the dash and up to the radio there. It's going to be really, really close. Use the good old coat hanger to get it up through the hole. Tape the coat hanger to the end of the cord. And the drill bit does have to be just a hair, obviously bigger than this RCA cable, so it'll fit. So I'm going to get that siliconed, and then the wiring part of this project, as far as the backup camera, is done.